Is it about time that we start getting fired up? Come on, let's hear some more noise!
Louder! Farhan, come on! Is that the best you've got? Farhan, we love you! Do we? Can we hear it for you? Let's hear it, Farhan! Let us put our hands together to welcome
Walking
the
up the
living
stairs,
legend,
people.
the heartthrob of millions, our hero, Farhan Akhtar! To sweep us off our feet and rock on with his magic, he will grant us today what our dil chahta hai.
आसमां है नीला क्यों पानी गीला गीला क्यों गोल क्यों है जमीन सुख में है नरमी क्यों आग में है गर्मी क्यों दो और दो पाँच क्यों नहीं पेड़ हो गए कम क्यों तीन है ये मौसम क्यों चांद दो क्यों नहीं सुख में है नरमी क्यों आग में है गर्मी क्यों दो और दो पाँच क्यों नहीं सोचा ये तुमने क्या कभी सोचा है कि है ये क्या सभी सोचा है सोचा नहीं तो सोचो अभी
We now invite Sachi and Aditya of grade 2 to present a bouquet as a token of our deep affection, love and adulation for our very own Sid.
We now invite Mr. Farhan Akhtar and the distinguished guests to light the lamps to commence this much-awaited session of the Leadership Talk Series 2014.
As we now welcome Mr. Farhan Akhtar to come to stage. We also request Mr. Atul Taimunikar, Chairman and Co-founder of Global Schools Foundation, to come to stage. हर एक लम्हे से तुम मिलो, खोली अपनी बाहें. Receive every moment in your life with open arms. Imran taught us.
So, it would be very exciting for everyone inside the audience to hear our hero share stories about his childhood days.
We want Farhan. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear you scream.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. It's very nice to be here. I'm very happy. I don't know how happy y'all are. I believe it's a holiday for y'all today. But thank you very much for coming. This is very, very special, and it's very nice to be here amongst all of you. I don't know what there is to really say about my childhood. It was as normal as everybody else's. You know, I was getting into as much trouble as everybody else. And most importantly, I think for all of us, when we are children, we need the right people around us to support us, you know, and to guide us with our dreams. And I was very fortunate that, of course, my parents, my family, my teachers at school, they all were extremely supportive of the fact that I like to entertain people. You know, so they would always support me whether I wanted to be on stage, perform, sing, dance. And that really is something that gave me a lot of confidence to go ahead and do what I do now. So just all I can say to all of you is all the best. Enjoy these years. They are great years of your life. You know, so enjoy them. And at the same time, have these wonderful dreams and just follow up on them because they can all come true.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Devanshi Patnaik.
Hi.
Sir, I have a question for you today. What keeps you motivated to take on so many different roles and still manage to excel?
Well, I think, you know, when I was walking in here, I saw all those smiling faces. I think that's what motivates me. Are those smiling faces. I just like making people smile.
We love you.
I love you too.
Yes, can we have the second question from Kuala Lumpur?
The reason for doing Bhag Milka Bhag really was Milkha Singh himself. He's an iconic Indian. We've all grown up listening to stories about him, about all the odds and the obstacles that he faced. I assume you've seen the film, which is why you're asking me. So you know what his life was like. So
Yeah, we now go to the city of diamonds, Surat. So can we have a question from Surat?
I think my favorite actor would possibly be, there's two people who have been very inspirational to me while I was growing up watching their movies. One, of course, is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. I shall convey your woos to him when I meet him next. And Mr. Robert De Niro is the other person who's very, very influential for me.
Excellent. We can have question from Queenstown Campus.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Savia. And my question for you is that if you were an ordinary man for one day without the fans and the media, what would you have done and why?
I don't know what I'd be doing. This is my life. It's too hypothetical a question to think about. But I guess I'd be sitting in a theater and watching someone's work and being a fan of somebody else. You know, really, for me, this world of entertainment, be it just producing a film, you know, not really being a part of it in terms of the hands-on making, you know, or then directing it, or writing it, or singing a song in it, or acting in it, or then performing like I am here today.
All right, we've got a lot of grounds to cover. So can we have the next question from Balestier Campus?
Farhan uncle, you are
Ji.
a director,
Acha, sorry.
screenwriter, producer, actor, singer, lyricist, and television host. And you are good in all of them.
Thank
What
you.
message we kids should take in our day-to-day life by looking at you?
May I ask you your name? What is your name?
Jinal.
Meenal?
Jinal.
Okay. Jinal, how old are you?
Old. Years old.
6 years? Okay, so I must tell you that when I was 6 years old, if I had to stand up with a mic and ask anyone a question, I would have fainted out of nervousness. So firstly, you are doing something that I could never have done. So how do you do it? How are you so brave? You want to do something. And if there's something that you don't want to do, no matter how idle you are, no matter how free you are, you'll never find the time to do it.
and you found the time to come up here. Thank you so much. Hi Shreya, and hello to everyone who's sitting around with you. I think we're in a very fortunate job that we do, where we have the liberty and we have the freedom to be able to portray different characters and to live different lives. Unlike many other jobs where you probably have to go in on a daily level and more or less do, on some level, the same kind of thing.
Good afternoon, Farhan sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
This is Prajwal from class 10B. My question to you is, in the movie Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, there was a scene in which you jumped out of a plane, basically skydived. So how thrilling was that, and what makes you so fearless?
It was a tremendous amount of fun to do, I must admit. And it's something that I have followed up on since I did it for that film. But the first time, of course, I was very scared when I had to do it. It's not, your brain doesn't allow you to realize that it could be a normal thing, that somebody does. And I must tell you that you're not scared when you're actually out of the plane.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Atharva from grade 12A. So my question for you today is, does writing come to you naturally as a skill, or is it something that you've acquired over the years? And do you have any advice for aspirational writers here in Queenstown?
When I was roughly about, this would be 1993, 94, so I was about 19 years old when I started working under a gentleman whose name was Adi Pocha. And I truly consider him, as far as my approach to my work goes, I consider him my guru of sorts. And when I was working for him, he recognized the talent of writing in me when he used to ask me to maybe write something down as a pitch.
Before we go on to the next question from Indore, the film Laksh, were there any personal experiences or things that triggered you to write a script on Laksh?
There were a couple of things. I think firstly, to start with, I could identify with the character's dilemma of not really knowing what he wanted to do in life. That was something that I'd been through for a period of about 1.5 to 2 years before this job that I just mentioned.
We move on to the next question from Indore.
I think they feel a bit embarrassed and awkward. They enjoy certain bits, like they enjoy the songs. They enjoyed Señorita, they enjoyed the songs of Rock On, they enjoyed the whole Havan Karenge dance. So they enjoy all that stuff. But I think otherwise they feel a bit shy. I think maybe also because their friends tell them, oh, that's your dad and stuff. And you.
Dear Farhan sir, we are all very excited to know about your next movie.
Well, thank you for asking. My next film that I start in May, I start shooting that film in May. It's a film called Dil Dhadakne Do. And it's Zoya's next film, who made Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. So it's her next film that we're shooting. And we'll finish shooting in September. And it's going to be a fun film, like how Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara was, that kind of film. And there is Ranveer Singh, there's Anushka, there's Priyanka Chopra, and myself in that film.
Right.
Music, thank you. Firstly, hello everyone there. Music is a very, very important part, I think, of everyone's life, not just mine. I think a life without music would be very dull. It would be like conversation without humor, more or less. So it's an amazing thing what music can do. It has a tremendous amount of power to make you feel a certain way. And in films, we tend to use it as effectively as that. My favorite song,
your musical performance. We understand tomorrow is going to be your first performance live in Singapore.
That's absolutely right.
And this is our privilege.
The privilege is entirely mine, but thank you.
Hi, Farhan sir. My name is Komal, and I'm from IBA 2B. And My question to you is, your films such as Dil Chahta Hai, Fukre, and Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara have broken the mold of typical Hindi films. So what makes your movies so close to reality?
Well, I don't know. I think it's just a personal aesthetic, or the films that I've grown up watching, admiring, that have influenced me, that make me want to probably make the kind of movies that I make. But to me, I think on some level, films should reflect life.
Question from Noida.
Well, to start with, I've learned to run really fast, which has helped me tremendously. But I think most importantly from Milkha ji, what I've learned, and which I shared I think a little while ago, is that it is truly possible to achieve anything that you want in a very honest, sincere...
Very good afternoon, Farhan sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Sir, my question to you is, what is the most demanding aspect of taking up roles in breaking molds?
Well, you know, I don't know. The thing is, when we are approaching any film, we don't think of it looking back in retrospect, that, you know, if I did this role, then maybe 5 years from now, people will feel that I've done something that's different. You just feel excited about doing something. You know, if you were sitting and your friends say, come and play football, you know, you'll either want to because you'll want to play football, or so that's really what it is.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. So before we wrap up, you know, you've been an actor, producer, director, almost everything you've done in the movie industry. Did you ever imagine that you will get a chance to come to Global Indian International School?
No, never. This for me is very far removed from anything that I could have ever imagined. But thank you very much again. Thank you very, very much for having me. It's been a wonderful session talking to everyone.
As a token of our heartfelt love and gratitude, we present you with a memento that Anshul Tukul from 10 IGCSE has made a sketch of you.
Thank you very much. I love you all too. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you very much for being here today and for your patience. I hope I've not bored you too much. Thank you.